Let's continue talking about post-exploitation. Now I'm starting the keylogger and I'm typing some stuff in Notepad on the victim machine. Now we can see what I typed with keyscan dump. You'll notice that all the keystrokes were registered. Let's now start the SCP server on our XP machine. I shouldn't do this, but this is only to make stuff easier for us. Saving the password is a very bad idea. Now, we're going to use a post-exploitation module to attack our SCP server on the other side and grab the credentials. There's only a session parameters to be set up, which I had wrongly set up at the start. And you'll notice that we grabbed the password for user Georgia. That's lo and behold password. Very good. Okay. One thing we can also do, as we are still connected to user Georgia as root, we can see the bash history for that user, which is a hidden file. You'll notice all the commands that were entered, and if we scroll up, we can see something pretty juicy. You'll notice she wrote my password is password, so we could have saved some time without having to go through all that post-exploitation we did before. We can also use this post-exploitation module to grab Samba credentials. You see what the exploit does. You'll probably know that sysinternals provide the ps suite, which includes ps-exec, which is a very good one. We can set up certain parameters here. Of course, the remote host first. Which is our XP IP address. We need to set up a username for Samba and a password. And we know this information here. We can now run the exploit. Looks like the previous exploit is still running, so I'm going to change the listening port and in fact we're good to go. We have another session for us. Another thing I want to do is understand who we are, and we're already system. Now, if we scroll the processes with PS, we can notice other ways to get in that might probably not have been highlighted by an mmap scan. We might want to migrate to a more stable process anyway. I use this printer spool process for this. Of course, we can dump the password hashes. That doesn't always work, but in this case it does. Now let's switch to another user secret. This is the first time I started, so the whole process is a little slower because he has to create a desktop first for this new user. I like to have all the icons on the desktop. Makes my life easier. Alright, let's use an extension called Incognito that allows us to steal a token belonging to another user. You can load it after you are in an interpreter session. Now we can still see what tokens are available, and you'll notice there's a token belonging to this user, and we can impersonate this user called secret. So if secret is a domain administrator, we can pretty much do whatever we want. Now let's go back to our previous user authority system, and let's drop a Windows shell. So at this point I want to understand if secret belongs to the administrators group, and he does. Okay. Another thing we can do is using an extension called Mimikatz to check if there are Kerberos passwords stored in clear text, and you see there are. We can also search for certain specific terms in our victim machine. You'll notice that I have a file called financial information. We saw before it contains only a joke, but that gives you an idea of how useful this functionality may be. Okay, this is all for this video, and I'm gonna follow up with more post-exploitation stuff. Have a good one. Bye bye.